It's the SPINION. We all up here back in effect. Yes, we back. It's going down. A lot of things that went down in these last 2 weeks that we're going to try to cover. We can't cover everything. That ain't what we're supposed to do. We just couple normal fans that have an opinion about what's been going on in the sports world. We'd like for you to watch us. Like for you to subscribe, comment below, tell us what you think, and we can discuss it all the time. So check it out. It's going down this week. We're talking about the college football final. We're talking about a player spotlight. We're going to get on James Harden a little bit, just a very little bit. We're talking about the upcoming Super Bowl. Yeah, we lost out on that situation. It's going down. Check it out. It's the SPINION. What up? It's the SPINION. Of course, I'm Isaiah Williams, Rico. Hey, we on the SPINION. Let's talk college football first of all. Let's give a congratulations. Congratulations. Yes to LSU, 15-0. Joe Burrow. You got any comments about that?
Once again.
Because we both picked Clemson.
Once again.
Boy, we bad. We are striking out.
We was wrong. It was, but I honestly feel like it was one of those picks where you just try to have pick integrity.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, like that's our excuse. Pick integrity.
And it was like, man, like LSU looked really good the week before, but Clemson came out. They had a shot at it. And then
I thought it was about to be a rout.
It was weird, man, because it looked literally just like what we had just saw from Kansas City that week, where they came back from halftime. I was like, they're Kansas City in the game, like again, like here we go again, like because Clemson was up and then it just changed or whatever. But congratulations, LSU. I wonder all year whether that kind of highlight reel football they would be able to sustain it, and obviously the answer was yes.
Man,
yes, like a resounding yes. So congratulations all.
Did anybody tell Clemson that pretty much all LSU did this year was throw the ball?
You know what really happened in that game to me. I was talking about it while it was going on. It was really interesting because at the beginning of the game, all of the defensive line, they're hyped up.
Right.
They're getting after the quarterback. Everybody's playing fast. But over the course of a game, when that fatigue starts to set in and you're not moving as fast and you're not getting to the quarterback like you were, and now he's beating you, to the outside and you're not able to contain him anymore. Now you're giving up big plays.
Right.
So early in the game, they were downhill. And then later on, and we watched that same kind of thing happen.
Another big shout out, too, goes to the coaching staff for making the adjustments. You know what I'm saying? When they were, getting tired, they started protecting the quarterback a little bit better. And he was putting some of them receivers was catching some nice passes.
They had time. Once they had time, and then early in the game they were getting pit and
pressed a little bit.
Yeah. It just once that changed,
slowly but surely it just matriculated, and you seen the score just dwindling and going in the opposite direction. And I was thinking the whole time, man, we both picked Clemson. And man,
I would say this has just been.
But Clemson is always next year because Trevor Lawrence will be back.
Yeah, I don't know. Clemson's always going to be there. This was LSU's. This was their time.
This was their time. Here goes the big question. This is everybody's asking about, and I'll offer my opinion, and then I'll shoot it to you. Joe Burrow, was that the best season ever? To me, statistically, yes. I mean, 60 touchdown passes. 5,000, almost 6,000 yards. I just think he put on a show. And the fact that you win the Heisman, you win the SEC championship, you go against the big dogs, which, people can't argue they wasn't as big as they were the years before, but you still played Alabama, you played Georgia, you played Auburn, you went through the SEC, and then you beat Clemson, and then you beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So I think he had one of the best seasons
ever. You can definitely say he had one of the best seasons ever, considering everything that you said.
Yeah.
I think for me, when it comes down to that type of thing, it's all about the narrative and the feel of it all.
Right.
And it just wasn't there.
Okay.
It wasn't there for again, all year was like, is LSU going to be able to keep it up?
Right.
Even now, it's an argument. The arguments are still out. Is it Burrow? Is it Tua? It wasn't like everybody was all eyes on Burrow this year. He made it.
Kind of like a sleeper.
Yeah, he was a sleeper, and
humble beginnings. You transfer from Ohio State.
What he accomplished.
His story is legit.
Yeah,
it's almost. It's not big box office movie. I might do a Netflix. Maybe a lifetime.
But I mean,
what type of movie would you give Joe Burrow story?
It's like after effect, maybe. But if we pick him like, was everybody, it just. And he looked like a star smoking a cigar after he won the championship. But it was like that was the first time to me. Right. It was like he's looking like this star. Like
kudos to you, Burrow. But if you come to Cincinnati with the first pick in the draft, we're gonna be praying for you because you might not last long. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Moving right along. Along with this game came our new segment, which is we haven't named it yet, but today we're gonna name it is What the Hell Was You Thinking Award. And that flat out goes to your boy, Odell Beckham. Now, I went off on Draymond last week. I'm tempted to go off on Odell, but I'm going to ease up and let you do it. You want to tell the story first?
You should go off on Odell.
Okay. We know college football, college sports is corrupt and the way they do things is... But we know that there's rules that they got to abide by in order for them to stay eligible. This brother going to come in the middle of the field at the end of the game, making a public spectacle, handing out money to the players, which you know is a direct violation, whether you would agree with it or not. It ain't about what you think, it's about the players and their futures. And you handing out money. Now they tried to color it saying it was fake. Everybody know that money was real. Not only that, after you handing out the money, you go in the locker room and you get a little, touchy-feely with the security guard, which is suspect in itself.
That was an interesting choice.
And he decides to possibly press charges on you because you're doing too much. The problem with this whole situation, Odell, why are you putting the onus on you? All you need to be focusing on is getting on a team that's winning some ball games and being more effective than you have been in these past couple years. Because I'm starting to think that you might be part of the reason why these teams ain't as successful because of your demands, your high stakes, and the things that you like to draw attention to yourself about. But let LSU have their parade. Let them have their party. Let them have their day in the sun. You don't take their day in the sun by the stuff that you do. Come on, man. Oh, hell nah. Why the hell you do something like that?
Bro, I mean, what the hell were you thinking?
Man!
All of that's true. But because of that, what the hell you were thinking, I want to give a what the hell are you thinking to everybody paying any attention to Odell Beckham Jr. like at this point, this is what Odell Beckham Jr. does. Like, and it's to the point now where it's like, you're not even sure. Every time somebody does something stupid, people want to believe it's contrived, and I'm not quite sure it is. It seems like the guy just literally doesn't think. Like, wow. When I saw him like stare at because I thought the security guard was doing a bit much. Like, come on, man, relax, man.
Right.
The guy's trying to celebrate.
Right.
But when Odell Beckham, when his choice was like, to treat him like, this locker room butt time, it was kind of strange.
Yes.
I mean, it's like clearly he's not thinking. Like, the guy doesn't think. But really, man, we need to stop paying attention to Odell Beckham. Man. Odell Beckham Jr. Like, the reality is all of the focus needed to be on LSU. The coverage needed to be on LSU, and it became more about Odell Beckham. And then, Joe Burrow decided he was going to have
now, what the hell was you thinking?
See, you know what I'm saying? What the hell did you think?
Come on, man. You don't be telling, man.
Obviously, he act like he don't know the rules.
No, he said it. He said, listen, I know the rules, but I'm graduate now.
But what that got to do, if you don't got no stake in it, just
quiet.
Why you gotta comment on it at all? You know what I mean?
So do we blame the media for putting the emphasis on Odell?
I blame the media.
Okay.
I give the media 50% blame.
Okay.
Because OBJ, he did do it.
Right.
So you gotta give him 50% blame.
Okay.
But I give the coverage about it 50% blame. We've had to deal with. I mean, listen, he's a loser this year. He
is a loser for the last 3 years.
And he's not consistently healthy. It's like,
he drops some with the one hand, cool, but he's been dropping some
I appreciate his talent, but man, for us to let him show up at that game just because he's an LSU alumni, it take the spotlight totally off the
shady,
game. Like,
man.
Flat out shame on all of us.
Yes.
But even it was like, but did you notice the camera is focused on him? If LSU wins, but the network cameras are focused on Odell Beckham Jr. following him around during the celebration.
Yeah, so, that ain't cool.
Like we said, congratulations, LSU. Odell Beckham Jr., what the hell are you thinking? Joe Burrow, what the hell or extra were you thinking? Like, you really tripping. Like, people don't tell them what's going to come down from that. And they're supposed to be your boys, man. So
it is what it is. Moving right along, since I guess we could talk about the NFL playoffs, which we were dead wrong again on our picks. I mean, literally, neither one of my picks are in the Super Bowl. I will give a shout out to the NFL because it's been a great playoffs.
A great playoffs.
Except for that San Francisco Green Bay game. It was demoralizing. It was embarrassing to me.
Green
I got so many questions to ask you, my man.
I mean, ashamed of themselves.
Man, I mean, bad. I mean, they got the man only threw the ball 8 times. Man, NFL.
You know, it was sweet justice about Aaron Rodgers for me, because that was one of the conversations I wanted to have. Like, I'm tired of hearing about. Now the conversation is over, but just
you talk about the greatness conversation between him and Brady.
So I was tired of hearing it. It's never been true.
Okay,
it's never been true. He's always been incredibly talented,
right?
But he just doesn't have that
winning.
He doesn't have the capacity to galvanize his team. That's not one of his talents. And you just saw it on display in the worst way. One thing that I've been sulking a little bit about all of these picks that have been wrong. Like, I've been sulking a little bit. But one thing that I hold on to is the fact that I did say that if Garoppolo is healthy, that San Francisco was my dark horse team.
Okay. We were talking about them sneaking up on people, and they did.
And he stayed healthy, and they stayed focused, because I was also worried when they started to experience some success, would they be able to maintain it.
Right.
We're seeing this year with what we talked about with LSU and San Francisco, teams that are coming up, like, they're like, why not? Why not us?
I respect the fact that they still believe in the foundation of any great football team.
And that was once again that was sweet. That was sweet victory as well.
With Henry and the Titans, even though they lost, their foundation was built around the run game.
We don't want to sound like a bunch of old guys.
Right.
But it was nice to see.
Yeah,
football.
That was football.
Nice. It was nice to see.
And as I said, it was demoralizing to the Packers. They couldn't stop the run. I mean, they pounded them. That's a beat down.
That defensive line of San Francisco, and they don't get tired.
Man, Bosa got a motor that.
We're talking about like the other teams. They get tired. They don't get tired. They getting after that quarterback all game long. I mean, Aaron Rodgers got some things done in the game, but everybody knew it was over. They like, this game is over.
Absolutely.
It was over in the first half.
Absolutely.
Shame on the Packers. We all was looking at the television.
Man.
Y'all didn't show up. We were supposed to have a show.
Wow.
We were supposed to get a show, and y'all gave us nothing. Y'all gave us 0. I don't want to hear nothing from Packers fans, cheeseheads. I don't want to hear nothing.
Right.
That was mess. No, absolutely not.
I want to talk a little bit about the Titans and their philosophy. I'm not no football expert or guru. I've watched a lot of football. I grew up around football. But you're only sending 3 against Patrick Mahomes for the majority of the game. And they just basically played with you.
It's one of those things where it's like,
what were you thinking?
You're winning the game. Once again, the Kansas City Chiefs are getting beat. Like, once again, you're up in this game. And you just can't see that you just need to continue to do what you did to get you.
Because they trying to get it on my man Henry, but he didn't carry the ball as nearly as much.
It's like you said, it's the philosophy. Usually when teams get up,
you pound them.
But other teams,
you got the best back to do it.
Safe. They go to nickel coverage,
right?
And it's only sending 3, but they're like, we're gonna defend the pass now. Like, no, you defend Patrick Mahomes by getting after him. But what it really looked like with Patrick Mahomes, that was just like really just seemed demoralizing to Tennessee, especially their defensive line. Well, he was just passionate.
Yeah,
they just couldn't contain him, and then they had an extra man in coverage, but refused to use a spy. Man, there was no spy.
And like I said, we ain't gurus, but I mean, we can watch with our own naked eye.
There was nobody watching. He just kept running around the defensive lineman, like, for a 15-yard scamper.
And the more time you give him, he was dinking and dunking right over the. It was
easy.
Yeah, so I mean, once again, kudos to the NFL. The playoffs was kind of cool. I mean, it's been cool since far. But listen, we're not going to talk about the Super Bowl today, because next week we're going to do a Super Bowl special where we'll get in depth about the Super Bowl. Because I think it should lend itself to being a good Super Bowl.
This is gonna be a good game. I don't think
we're not going to even make our picks. We're just gonna say it's gonna be a good game. We'll talk about it, and then you'll be able to see it on the SPINION. So make sure you tune in, you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you go from there. Let's go on to our favorite sport, which is hoops. First of all, we're gonna do what's called a player spotlight. We've been thinking about it in our war room. When do we bring this segment in? And even in our outtakes, which we'll never give you. We talk about it a lot. We argue about it all the time. We don't argue as if to say we disagree. We disagree with how the teams defer to him. So our first player spotlight is one player that's bringing a lot of attention to himself, not because of what he's saying, but because of his game and how his game is somewhat talented. You would say great, but it's frustrating. Our first player spotlight is James Harden, the lefty. James Harden. I mean, the bearded one, whatever you want to call him. Right now, he's averaging about 36, 37 points a game. Suffice to say, as you're watching this, they said there are 7 recorded, I got to give you this number, 7 recorded times where a player has missed over 15 threes in a game. James Harden has 6 of those games in history. And so people are calling him the best scorer of all. Is he the greatest scorer of all time? He's the most dynamic player of all time. No! This is my opinion. What the heck are y'all watching? Are we not watching the same game? This dude is a high-stakes gunner. Flat out. No, he's a gunner. I didn't say he couldn't play. He can play, but he's a gunner. How can you be happy with going 1 for 17 from the three-point line in one game?
He's definitely one of the best ISO players of all time. I'll give him that. One of the best scorers, especially because of how the game is called. Because really, a lot of those fouls be like, come on, man. But listen, man. I told you. The guy just don't get it. Man. He was saying what he was saying about the MVP, and I told you, he just don't get it. They lost a chance to go to the finals by doing what? What was it missing? The team missed like 28 threes or something. He went like 3 for 15 or 2 for 15 or something like that in that game. And I said it, that was the year before last, but I said it back when he started talking that craziness about he should have won the MVP. I said, wait a minute, something's wrong with this guy. I think he's literally like a basketball sociopath. Like he don't know when he does wrong. So here we are. This guy goes 1 for 17. Why are you still doing it?
It's happened 6 times, 7 times total in the NBA for one player. He's done it the 6 of the 7 times.
It's unreasonable.
It's not good basketball to watch. When you watch James Harden, you sit there like Charles Barkley, Shaq, dribble. At times it gets boring because you already know he gonna put it up. But you see flashes of other parts of talent that he can expose other teams.
He just won't.
His game doesn't adjust like the Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron James. It doesn't adjust to the situation.
I don't know what he cares about. You know how people say like a good scorer, they be like, he doesn't have a conscience. He doesn't care what he just did. Doesn't care about the last missed shot. Well, James Harden needs to repent.
Yes.
It's time for bruh, you need to get a conscience. You really do. You need to stop this craziness, man. You look crazy out there.
And everybody keeps talking about his success.
You look crazy out there doing this 17 times and missing
the step back, the side step. I mean, it's like, can you get to the mid-range or can you get a layup?
Crazy.
I mean, the thing that bothers me is everybody keeps talking about how successful he's been. But if you watch and you've historically seen, all Mike Dunleavy's point guards are successful. Anybody who dominates the ball in a Mike Dunleavy system is going to be pretty good. If you watch, Steve Nash won two MVPs in the system. Jeremy Lin became a New York sensation in Mike D'Antoni's system. Them guards, that's what they do because they are the ball. That's his system. It's screen, off the screen. Here's your options. You do what you want to do. Shake, rattle, and roll.
That's bad.
And so that's why James Harden looks like he's being successful because he's been the best guard he's ever had in his system.
I appreciate the tough shots that he makes when he's making them, but the reality of basketball is, we see it's people almost on every team in the NBA that average 18 to 20 points because there's no one else there averaging
Right.
18 or 20 points, and they're going to put up numbers. James Harden happens to be a good player that has the balls all of the time. Like, yes, he's averaging 37, and I get people are saying everybody can't do it. I believe everybody couldn't do it in the same way.
I don't think
Everybody
people
couldn't
would
do it
want. I don't think they would want to do it.
Well,
In the team concept,
no,
it's like,
most people wouldn't. Most people wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
Most people wouldn't want to just stand out there and shoot the.
I think he looks at his stats like, yeah, I want to put up 37. And whereas other people like you said, LeBron, Kawhi, they can put up 30. Like at the airing of this episode, Kawhi's got 5 straight games, 35 points a game. But he's doing it because he has to, and the efficiency in which he's doing it. This brother's hitting you from all 3 phases of the floor. James Harden is standing out there chucking them. I mean, I think what's happened is, and what I don't like about it is it's so popular. If you look at the games now with other players in college and in high school,
that's
you're
what
like,
it is.
dude, you can't. That's not good. I'm sorry. I'm a purist.
The guy said what was important to him. Last year, he missed the opportunity to go to the NBA Finals. That was a championship opportunity year. What his conversation was at the beginning of this year is, I should have won MVP. I'll give it to Giannis. That's what he was talking about. That's what he was saying. He wasn't talking about focused in on that. He was feeling like, y'all should have gave me the MVP because I hit the most step back threes last year.
I'm gonna tell you right now, just being honest.
Yes.
I know you average 37 points a game,
Yes.
but you are not the front runner for MVP. The front runner, in my opinion, is still Giannis. They're 39-6. He's averaging more points than he did last year, more rebounds. I know they got a loaded team, but he surrounded. But even if you say not Giannis, you'll say Luka, you'll say LeBron, you even say Anthony Davis because of the injuries.
Say LeBron name before Luka.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving out names. But I'm saying you'll say all those names before you say James Harden, because you're like, dude. First of all, head to head, you didn't beat neither one of them. You didn't beat LeBron. You haven't beaten Giannis. I mean, Giannis bowed out and y'all still lost. You know what I'm saying? Bron just put on a show when he needed to, and it was like, so
that was an easy game.
It was an easy game for them. The way they did their matchups defensively.
Like, that's not.
Kudos to the Lakers. Sometimes they doubled, sometimes they ran one at him. They just mixed it up so much for him, but you never adjusted. And so that's what I'm saying. LeBron and them will adjust. Okay, I ain't hit my jump shot. Sometimes LeBron like, okay, let me go down in here, get this work. Matter of fact, the Houston game, let me get this work a little bit down there in this paint because they keep getting it open, and Capella ain't no good enough guy to be able to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Jordan and them be like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this post, get you that and one. You Kobe, go down there. He never adjusts his game. It never adjusts. Wow, I never thought of it like that, but that is brilliant. He's a sociopath.
And clearly
stubborn.
He has no idea. He has no idea. He like, what are y'all talking about?
And what's worse? What could possibly be worse than being a sociopath playing for the Houston Rockets under Mike D'Antoni said, you know what's worse? You got Russell Westbrook, another sociopath, as your teammate. So both y'all try to jam a square into a triangle or a triangle into a circle. You're like,
Russ don't even know he can't shoot. He has no idea. You know what I mean? He's like, what are y'all talking about?
Funniest moment of the last couple weeks. He tells Damian Lillard, you can't guard me. Then goes to the line and claims the free throw. Hold on, man. You can't talk mess and then miss the next shot. You know if you can't talking mess and he give you something, you're like, okay, kudos, you got that.
Us, man.
This brother saying you can't guard me, this or go to the line, clang, and everybody sitting there like, dude, it was a bad brick too. It was terrible.
Man.
Like, yeah, man.
Just wait till the playoffs and you see how crazy they play about that.
It's about to be a real live explosion over there. I hope fingers don't get pointed, but if James Harden wants to point the fingers, point them at yourself. Because once again, as this is airing, Chris Paul comes into Houston
and just was destroying him, man. He's really proving a point that, you know, James Harden wasn't all right.
So once again, you're talented, man, but if you don't adjust your game very soon and figure out some nuances to this situation, because you got some nice pieces.
What I'm hoping for them is that they fall in the standings, get a you know, an exciting matchup, you know, like play the Clippers or something like that in the first round, and James Harden is hot, you know, before he runs out of gas.
I think now we said last time we aired that Utah was kind of being disappointing, but they're starting to rise.
Here they come.
I gotta give props. And we're talking about that with NBA. Surprising teams and players. Jordan Clarkson's move was big for them.
Yeah.
Because he can score the basketball. So I don't know if they want to play Houston. I don't know if Houston wants to play them again early on.
Houston, it don't matter who Houston plays because Houston gonna play the same way. Houston's road to victory is being hot. And that's gonna happen in the early rounds. And the earlier rounds are gonna be harder to beat. We know by the time they get the second,
But what if they fall down and get the fifth or the sixth seed, and you got to put one in the top three?
That's gonna be when they have an opportunity to make some noise. Otherwise, they'll do like they usually do.
Let's hypothetically, if Denver gets the third seed and say Houston gets the sixth seed, you probably you think Denver's gonna be able to pull that out?
Yeah, but that's when Houston wants to play Denver in the first round.
Okay.
You don't want to play. You don't necessarily want to play Houston
fresher
in the first round.
Okay.
Because that's when James Harden will be probably still continuing his regular season run. By second round, man, that dude. He shoot the ball so much and he was out of gas every year. He's tired already. Did you see him in a 1-for-17 game?
Yeah.
He's tired.
Yeah.
He's tired.
But he's wearing himself out.
That's what he does. He wears himself out because it's important. People talking about him averaging 37 is important to him because that's all he has.
Absolutely.
And he gonna tell us next year when we don't pick him for MVP how wrong we are again and how woe is him because Giannis just had the best offensive and defensive team in the league last year and the best record. How dare we make him the MVP? Like, come on, man.
So give us some surprising players as we move on to this next segment. Some surprising players this year. Just throw out some names and who you think is surprising. I'll throw out one. Sabonis from Indiana. The Pacers are actually being pretty well. I know it's the East, but the East is competitive this year. If you look at the standings, there's only 2 teams in the playoffs in the East with losing records, where last year they was like 3 or 4, and then it's only 1 team in the West with losing records. So it's been pretty even as far as parity is concerned. And the Pacers have been surprising along with the Heat or whatever. But Sabonis is averaging 18 and 13. He got a new contract. If I'm a team and I know they got them big men, I'm trying to go get him. You know what I'm saying? Making some waves and trying to go get him to be on my team because he's got basketball savvy. It's in his family pedigree. And he's just a workman-like type of attitude. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about Jordan Clarkson and that move. Any other guys that's just surprising you?
Jaren Jackson of Memphis.
The whole Memphis squad.
We
getting excited about Memphis.
The whole Memphis squad.
We already know how Rookie of the Year is.
I was kind of upset because I was like, here we are. It's time for y'all to put on a show. And they didn't show up for it.
Okay.
On MLK Day. Neither did the Lakers. But, I really wanted them to show America and everybody watching like this.
You think that's the young in them?
I think they were just surprised by the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans just were so excited because Zion is on his way back. It's like, here we, let's go get it. Let's show everybody what Zion is coming back to. I'm even hearing they pull back players in the trade that they don't want to trade. You know what I mean? I'm surprised about that. So I'm really surprised about Jackson, but the way he's playing out of this world. I talked about John Morant the other week. I'm surprised by the consistency of Brandon Ingram. Now, listen, it's not just that he's putting up numbers. That I could care less.
It's about Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, because like I said, sometimes when a player like that is putting up numbers on the team, you're not a good team.
Right.
But the way he's closing these games.
Come on now.
The way he's closing the games, the way you can go to that man in isolation and those last 5 minutes.
He's a matchup nightmare because he's
long. He's what he's supposed to have been this whole entire time.
Right.
But it's incredible this year to see him actually managing that. Even when Memphis was trying to make a run, they like give Brandon the ball, let him make the decision. So big shout out to him.
I gotta give Memphis credit, like you said, but I think what happened against the Pelicans, you try to play the Pelicans game instead of making the Pelicans play your game.
Yeah, they were going inside. Yeah, they kind of lost focus. But sometimes you can't. I tell my son this when I'm teaching him basketball. You can't get bored. Don't get bored now. If it's working, it's working. If it's working, you do it till it's sick. Did Jordan stop shooting fadeaways?
Nah.
Because he made a few in a row.
Absolutely.
Or did he say, "Give it to me again, right here"?
Yeah.
Not right here. So
I like what John Morant's doing because he's propelling his team. And that's what we were talking
playing
about weeks
point
ago.
guard.
Damian Lillard and them, they don't necessarily propel their guys and still score,
He's
which
playing
he
point
can do.
guard.
John Morant can propel his team and still get buckets at the same time with his skill set. You see what he did to James Harden, gave him buckets when they played him. And I'm sorry, James, I'm bragging on you, but bruh, I think you gotta own this one. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. So I like what Memphis is doing to the organization. This is my question for Memphis though, and I have to throw it to you because there's a guy out there that's supposed to be playing for Memphis right now that is basically just buying his time till after the All-Star break to get on a team. If I'm Memphis, I'm throwing Andre Iguodala to anybody to get some younger players as well. Throw him out there. This is the opportune time.
I honestly think this is what I honestly think. We talked about it last week, but I think that's a conspiracy type of thing.
Okay.
I think because it makes no sense. Everybody knows how that works. You get the championship veteran, he comes to the team, you release him. As a matter of fact, I think Memphis did that with like 2 or 3 other players that just last summer. And so the reason that they're not releasing him is because he will go to the Lakers. And in the league as a what they call it, colluding or whatever in the gym. They don't want that to happen. They're like, don't help the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like, trade them anywhere.
Do y'all need Iguodala?
We need a wing defender. I don't care who it is.
One more wing defender.
We need a wing defender. A wing defender that can.
We talked about Kyle Kuzma being disappointed, but he's starting to play better.
You don't put Kyle Kuzma on the court when you have. When your rival or the person you're thinking about going against is going to be Paul George and Kawhi.
So would you trade Kuzma for Iguodala?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you
one you can't.
But who you want package?
One you can't.
Oh, you just saying you're free agent.
Because once again, the reason why Iguodala is still on Memphis because it makes no sense. It's nonsensical for Memphis to think that any good team can trade for Iguodala. Listen. He has a $17 million salary.
Right.
You can't. It's math. When you put a basketball team together, you also have to think about salary
and be a GM. Right.
If it's about value.
Okay.
And that's why Kuzma is a valuable player because he's playing on a rookie salary.
Right.
If he was doing this inconsistent mess at $17 million per year, he'd be traded last month.
So if I'm Iguodala, do I play 2 weeks to let everybody know that I'm legit?
Absolutely not. Everybody that wants Iguodala wants him. Everybody wants him.
Okay.
But they want him for free.
Okay.
We want him waived. Anybody that wants Iguodala wants him waived.
Okay.
Period. Because if you have to give up anything to get a player like Iguodala, who's not really going to help you in the regular season,
right?
You know what I mean? If you have to give up anything to get him, it's going to hurt your team because you have to match those salaries. So here you go, you're giving away, all of those players that can fill in when a player turns his ankle, fill in when a player gets injured. Now you're hurting the depth of your team with an older player who doesn't plan on playing much regular season basketball anyway. You know what I mean?
Okay. Spinion, now it's your turn. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think.
Really,
you know what I'm saying? There's some things going on in the league, things going on that we want to hear your opinion on. Also, be sure to check us out, next week as well as we do our Super Bowl preview. We're gonna talk all things football.
Big game.
Big game. This one might make a lot of money out there. You know,
make a lot of money.
Man,
it's gonna go crazy.
And they got J-Lo and Shakira at the halftime, so y'all hating the business.
Legacy's on the line.
It is what it is. But check this out. Thank you for watching us or whatever. We make sure to get up with you next time.
Spinion.
Spinion!